Truth is harsh. And those of us who have the courage to face the harsh truth, and the faster we have the courage and what it takes to face that harsh truth, the faster we will reach all that we want in life. Let's face it, the majority of us don't have the courage to face the truth. We look the other way. We pretend we don't know what's really happening. We fool ourselves, not realizing we are, in the meantime, we're losing the most precious asset any human being can have on this planet Earth, and that is time. Hey, you lose money, you can go and make it again. You lose anything else, you can go make it again. But once time is lost, it's lost forever. I plead with you, do not waste 1 second of your time. Have the courage to discard those friends who are dragging you down in life, and have the courage to speak your mind at all times, no matter who's listening. I'm not talking about jeopardizing your, your job or your career or whatever by saying things unnecessarily that's going to cause you, harm. You know what I mean about being politically correct and rest of that grand BS. There's nothing to be gained by doing that. But what I'm saying is, when you are in situations, when you're talking to a woman or, in a private setting or whatever, don't be afraid to disagree with her. Have the courage to speak your mind. She will respect you more. Women do not respect mousy pushover men who say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. But may I say what I think? No. Speak your mind. Act in life like you have the power to walk away from a situation. That is when you're most powerful to gain and obtain what you want. When you have the willingness and you mean it, you're not just acting. When you have the willingness to walk away from a situation, be it a business deal or a woman or anything else. And believe me, when you are sincere about that, people will sense it and people will treat you differently. People will treat you with respect. The world is like a mirror. Every day you tell people with your actions and with your words on how they are allowed to interact with you. If someone disrespects you, if she's the most beautiful woman in the world, or if he's your dearest friend, whatever, dear friends don't disrespect you usually. But I'm talking about in case it happens. If it's the most beautiful woman you're talking to, and she says something that disrespects you, or she says something that you completely disagree with, have the courage to say, no, I don't agree with that. I respect your opinion, but I don't agree with that at all, ever, and I never will. She will respect you so much, because most men, 98% of men out there, in the hope of gaining, her favors, will agree with whatever she says. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I agree with you. Oh yeah, what do you want to do? Where do you want to eat? What do you think? What is your opinion on this? Bull crap. Have the courage to face the harsh truth and be strong. And the stronger you are, the more courage you have to face the truth, the more courage you have to admit to yourself, yeah, maybe I have been a loser. Maybe I have been accepting less than I want, and going for what I can get versus what I really desire. If you have the courage to admit that to yourself, then you will put yourself on a fast track to get what you want. Listen, my friends. There are those who talk and there are those who walk the walk. I am willing to divulge with you, in you, only a certain amount, because the rest is really irrelevant. But I can tell you that I am walking the walk. I am right now in probably the most desirable part of this earth, one of the most desirable part of this earth, south of France, by the Mediterranean Sea, as you can see, because I decided not to take BS from anyone. I decided to be courageous. And I decided to be willing to face the harsh truth and admit to myself that, hey, you're acting like a loser. And you know what? It's not because I'm anything special or I have any other, any particular powers or anything. It's because I observed those who are successful and I copied them. There's an old Eastern saying, kind of a story that's emanating from underlying truth. There was this man who was extremely polite and well behaved and likable. Everybody wanted to be around him, and he always said the right things, and he never offended anyone, but he spoke his mind. But he was very well behaved and very pleasant to be around. We all know people like that, hopefully. Anyways, one guy approached him and he said, I want to ask you, what is your secret? I want to ask you, how is it that you are so polite, so well behaved, so much knowing of how to treat others, make them feel good, say the things that make them feel good, and never offend anyone or be disrespectful, etc., etc., etc. He said, oh, it's very simple. All my life, I observed very rude and unpleasant people, and I did the opposite. The answers are simple out there if you're willing and if you have the courage to look at them and then apply them in your life. Just looking at them and nodding your head is not enough. Have the courage to face the truth. Have the courage to admit to yourself, yeah, I've been a loser. I've been agreeing too much just because I thought that will gain me what I want. I've been a pushover. I've been a mousy loser, disgusting loser. Admit that to yourself, because I admit that to myself all the time. Even within a day, sometimes I act like a loser, and I admit that to myself. I face the harsh truth. You do it too. Every one of us. Don't think because somebody is wealthy and famous, they don't go through these things. Believe me, as I've said before in many of my videos, my friends range from a struggling taxi driver and a masseuse and a masseur who do massages for a living and barely can make the rent, to people that own companies with branches in 90 countries, and they have more money than they will ever know what to do with in the next 5 lifetimes. And they all, when you talk to them, when you peel the layers of the onion, they are all the same. They have the same fears. They have the same, issues with personality issues, courage to say the things they want at the right time and whatever. But what separates the losers, for lack of a better term, pardon me, I'm using that term. I use it to address myself too. What separates those who are unable to obtain what they want in life from those who are unable to get whatever they want, is respect for time. They do not waste the limited amount of time they have in a day with things that do not contribute directly to their goals and what's important to them. I mean, if you sit around and watch a game, for 4 hours, bunch of poor people, bunch of average people rooting for millionaires on the field playing the game, they're laughing at you. Those players are laughing at you. Oh, our team lost today. Okay, if your team wins for the next 10 years in a row, will they give you 1 cent? And you're upset because some sports team, some football team, soccer team, whatever it is, they lost. You're really upset, in a bad mood. Now, will those millionaire players care about you if you lose your job? Or if your wife leaves you and takes the kids? Would they care about you? Think deeply and act accordingly. Do not waste your time. The limited time that you have, the time that's once lost is lost forever. Do not waste it on any activity that is not in line with what you want to achieve in life. Everything you want to do, ask yourself. I'm not preaching down to you. I'm sharing with you what I've learned from those who have gotten all they want in life. Anything you want to engage in, any activity you want to do, ask yourself, is this going to get me closer to what I want to achieve in life, or is this going to take me away and divert me and take me further from what I want to achieve in life? Ask yourself that every time you're going to do something. Hey, do you want to go watch a football game or whatever it is for the next 5 hours? Ask yourself what else you could be doing in those 5 hours, etc., etc., etc. I don't have to tell you everything. I think you get the gist. But the point of this video was having the courage to admit to yourself the mistakes that you've been making, what you've been doing wrong, where you've been coming short, where you have failed to face the harsh truth. The more you are willing and the more you have the courage to face the harsh truth, the faster you will get to what you want in life. And believe me, once you do, it's like a diet that, at first is difficult, but once you stick to it, suddenly days and weeks go by and you realize all your trousers are too big for you, and then you realize it's all been worth it. The day you decide to have the courage to do that, believe me, it'll be more than worth it, and it'll bring you joy beyond your dreams. All the best. Signing out from the beautiful Mediterranean Sea in the south of France. Till later.